Good morning, students. Again, we are going to discuss the latitudes and longitudes. This will be the second part of the same chapter. So today we are going to discuss the significant lines. We already discussed in the previous video some portion. So equator was one of the significant line or the line of latitudes which divide the earth's surface into equal two portions. That is, you consider in the north of the equator, that is called the northern hemisphere, and south of the equator, that is known as the southern hemisphere. Then another important, that is called the tropic of cancer. We already discussed about that there are number of longitude latitudes in the north of equator. There are 90 latitudes in the south of equator, that is a 90 latitudes also. So all latitudes are not important, all are important, but somehow these are main important because on the basis of this we have to divide our earth on the climatic zone. Okay, so next is the topic of cancer, that is the 23.5 degree north. Then come to the topic of capricorn, 23.5 degree south. Arctic circle, which is another very important one, that is somehow you can know 66.5 degree north, and Antarctic circle, that is the 66.5 degree south. North pole you can find 90 degree north, and south pole somehow you can find the 90 degree south. As you can see you are, so if this video slides, so again and again you are asked to watch this video. Next come to the climatic zone. On the basis of these main you can say the latitudes, we can divide our earth surface, we can divide our earth. Some you can see that a number of or three, mainly in the three you can see that zones. First one you can say discuss, that is the torrid zone. Torrid is also known as the tropic zone, tropical zone somehow we can say. So which area it is? Between the area tropic of Cancer and tropic of Capricorn. Means 23.5 degree north and 23.5 degree south. So this area, means this area you can say green color area, greenish color, light green color. So this area is known as the torrid zone. Why it is torrid zone? Because temperature is very high in that area, because throughout the year this zone gets the direct sunlight. So temperature will be normally high. So that's why this is known as the temperate torrid zone. Then another two zone you can find over there, that is the temperate zone. Temperate zone also divided into north temperate zone and south temperate zone. North temperate zone between the tropic of Cancer and tropic of Capricorn, and south temperate zone tropic of Capricorn and tropic of and Antarctic circle. Okay, Arctic circle, tropic of Cancer and Arctic circle, and another the tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic circle. Means 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north, that is the northern temperate zone. And another you can see the tropic of 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south. So this is known as the south temperate zone. Okay, so this thing you have to always memorize. Okay, second you can see the third zone, that is known as the frigid zone, means the polar regions. Polar regions means the north frigid zone and south frigid zone. North frigid zone somehow we can say the 66.5 degree north to not 90 degree north. So this zone is considered as the frigid zone. Frigid means the freeze, always the temperature -60, -70 degree. Okay, and -80 degree temperature over there. So the temperature is always minus. And this is the south, you can see the frigid zone, that is known as the, you can say the 66.5 degree south to 90 degree south, means the Arctic circle and south pole. This area is known as the south frigid zone. So this is our main concerning matter. Okay, so these are the climatic zones. So there is temperature very high, moderate, and very low temperature over there because sunlight. Okay, because this area direct sunlight, straight sunlight, that's slanting sunlight, and after that more slanting sunlight all over there. Okay, So this thing, and the significant line, if you want to discuss, that is the first one is the equator. So equator is located at the 0 degree latitudes, and equator you can say the what? Equator, somehow you can say the equator long is for 40,700, and equator divides into the north and south hemisphere. On the equator, the directly sunlight fall on the 21st June and 21st December. So this is called as a two equinoxes. Equinoxes means that there will be equal day and equal night. Okay, and location of the equator, somehow you can know have the lots latitudes between the 0 degree and 90 degree. Okay, and locations of the south pole you can see the 0 to 90 degree south. So equator you can say the always what, that the day always on the equator, day and night always equal, means as 90 degree 12-hour days and 12-hour night. Okay, that thing always. Second one you can say the topic of Cancer. So this is another. So it is an imaginary line of latitude circling the at approximately 23.5 degree north line. It is passes through more of the cities, means more than the Capricorn, Hawaii, then come to Central America, North America, Sahara Desert, so and Kolkata. In India, topic of Cancer passes through more or less 8 states. Okay, 8 states is already covered. So that thing we have to memorize. And you can say this another, that's the topic of Capricorn, that is a line of longitudes that is 23.5 degree south, and it passes through most of the sea area. So somehow you can see this area. Okay. Then come to the this is what is the significant lines of the latitudes topic. Between the topic of Cancer and topic of Capricorn, the zone is the torrid zone. We already mentioned it. Okay. So area of the topic of Cancer and the you can see the north of and the north of the topic of Capricorn is still known as the tropic, means these two zone, somehow we can see these two zone. So these are the area between topic of Cancer and topic of Capricorn. Okay, so this thing you have to memorize. Then another you can see the significant line of latitudes is Arctic Circle. Arctic Circle is a line of latitudes begins with the 60 degree north and marks with the 60 degree south. While sorry, for at least one day of the each of the year, and does not completely, so always the sun is always in the horizon. Okay, never you come to the above or the state or 90 degree state of your head. Okay, so animals including the you can find what the polar bears and reindeer, muskox, polar hare, all these kind of animals you can find over there. And even the Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle, you can see that the polar opposite. So this thing up to Antarctic Circle is a line of latitude 66.5 degree south. This is called the line of latitude. So somehow you can see over here. Another thing you can see, the sun does not set. You can see the sun never set over there. Okay, always in the horizon. It separates the what, this line separate the Fidget zone. Fidget zone means after 66.5 degree in the south Fidget zone. Arctic circle and Antarctic circle, it is the it comes with the minor fluctuation is the artixial. Arctic circle and Antarctic circle also refer to the polar circles. Okay, so somehow you can see over here this the significant Arctic circle and Antarctic circle over there. Okay, so this area, this is the Arctic circle. Somehow you can see that this line, and this is Arctic circle means the North Pole, and here you can find the South Pole. Okay, so this much for today. Next day we'll discuss about the North Pole and South Pole. Okay, one by one. So thank you for okay.